Hello everyone and welcome to another Ratio1 Talks. My name is Mihai and today we are joined by Andrei, Petrica, Bleo and Vitalii. Welcome on in guys. Welcome.
Hello guys.
Today we have a pretty
Hello.
big discussion to have about 3send. And I will be giving the mic very soon to Petrica. But I think the biggest and the first big question is, what is it? What is 3send?
Okay, let's first try to respond from various points of view. So first of all, before anything else, and because I'm mainly one of the core team members of Ratio1, I would say that 3send is a framework. 3send was created as a framework built on top of Ratio1 and base protocol to prove the main powers of the Ratio1 protocol. Because 3send uses two of the core modules of the protocol, the R1FS, the decentralized file storage, and the CSTOR, the encrypted control plane of the protocol. It was a great way to prove what this protocol is capable of. And after switching to the other point of view of the co-founder of a new startup, hopefully, I would say that 3send was created as a personal desire of myself and the other co-founder of 3send, Alessandro, which is also part of the Ratio1 team, to create a way to send files from A to B without anybody or anything picking between the 2 points in the sending process, so that you are 100% sure that when somebody leaves the A point, it reaches the B point without any privacy infringement. So this is how actually 3send appeared. It's still very early in terms of development, but it's still it's a full product when it comes to resolving a tiny, very important problem. It at this current moment, it solves an essential problem: sending files from a wallet to another wallet using the Ratio1 protocol and having full encryption end to end without allowing anybody to sneak in your transfer.
And that is very important, as in having that privacy, having that security compared to other methods, other web apps that offer this sort of thing. Can you highlight a little bit how that can benefit both individual users and larger companies? Maybe we can have also a little bit more on that.
Yeah, on the individual, it's pretty simple. I don't know if all of you have privacy concerns, but myself, I always ask myself when I use a web application, what happens with my data when I upload it on a platform. So I use several platforms in the past to share either not important information, like few images of, I don't know, some vacation holiday images, or even more important information like some secrets or some kind of
documents
that need to be private and stay private. And when it comes to non-important information, actually you don't really care about if you are using a platform that has some privacy issues. You just send it because you don't care about it. Even in that situation, it's problematic, because actually, even if you don't care about the privacy of the information you share, you still are a product, because your images can also become a training source for somebody's model. Now, especially nowadays in this environment with all the.
Can they?
Yes, they can, Andrei. So. Most of the companies out there, they also highlight that when you agree the terms of use of the platform and so on, you basically agree that given some conditions, they can pick inside your information and so on. And the other aspect is when you actually share important information. So can you actually share important information without thinking about the risk, can you share important information, like, I don't know, maybe you have a partner and you need to share a secret for or a key from the project. How can you send it and sleeping at rest and fully rested at night, knowing that nobody can actually use that key and get through your walls and attack your application or other projects you are building? And in this case, that's where the application was born, for the people that want actually to have a communication layer that ensures that the data you send, the files you send, are sent fully encrypted. The uploading, the files being encrypted before uploading on your own end, so it's not somewhere on the way upload encrypted. It's actually encrypted before being uploaded on 3send, and is decrypted once the other user downloads the file and signs the decryption of the file, without anybody being able, as I mentioned, to decrypt it or see the information.
Yeah, compared to centralized companies and such that would be able to have stored somewhere that sort of data.
Yes, and also it gives you the impression that it could also happen. It's not that maybe they don't do it. Let's assume they don't do it, but you actually can't be 100% sure, because everything mainly happens before closed doors. So their code is closed source. You can't actually check how their platform is working. On the other hand, on our side, because we wanted to be fully transparent, and also because we wanted to create a framework on top of Ratio1 that anybody can actually take and deploy their own version of 3send, it's open source. So you can not trust us. You can just actually verify the code and see if it does what it does. Both the smart contract for the payments and the application code are open source. So you can always check it. And this is just for the I don't know, individuals and for I don't know, persons that need to share information. For companies, I think it's getting even more important, the privacy aspects, especially in this environment where you have a lot of jurisdiction regarding data privacy, GDPR, certain standards for privacy, and you need to make sure you don't reach certain moments when these standards are breached. And 3send can actually do that for teams. For teams, can come between companies and their clients. It solves a lot of issues with just a simple application. In the end, it's just, I know it's complex technology behind it, but it solves a very specific problem. Sending files or information. Later down the line, we are also planning to have a messaging, just a messaging layer from A to B without having the file transfer involved. But for now, it's about the file transfers, and you also can encrypt a message in the notes of the file transfer. Think about it. You would be able as a company to send information like analysis or blood tests to your customers using a method that 100% assures you nobody can sue you because you handled wrong the information.
Yeah, it's very well put. And going back to what you said earlier, everything is available to read. People can do their research. People can see what this entire project is all about in terms of the code. But maybe we can do now an actual live demonstration. How about that? Can we move on to that?
Yeah. So for this demonstration, I just opened two of my browsers. So I opened the Opera and the Brave browser, and on Opera I have one address, and I'm going to connect to Brave with another address, so that I'm actually going to simulate, not actually simulate, just sending it on mainnet file transfer, so that you can see how it works. It's pretty simple. It solves one use case, as I mentioned. You get three levels of encryptions based on your experience, and I will show it shortly before actually sending a file from one wallet to another wallet. So the first time you actually connect to the platform, you are going to be in a light encryption mode. Basically, the application is going to store a private public pair in an encrypted mode in a vault, so that the other on the other side, a sender can actually have your identity stored, and can send it directly to you and allow just you to decrypt the file. Of course, you would need to trust this kind of vault, which is a decentralized vault and an encrypted version of a pair generated for your wallet. But of course, if you know how to secure a recovery phrase or use a passkey with your device, it can be your passkey from your phone, it can be your face scan and so on. Everything can become even more secure for your experience, meaning that you can set the passkey and you can just create more security, knowing that the application and the vault behind the application doesn't hold actually your key. You are actually holding the keys, even if they are on the light mode. It's very secure because they are encrypted on the in the vault. If you really want to know that you are holding the keys, you can either set up a passkey and you hold your key in your hardware, either your mobile phone, either your laptop, and so on, or you can set a secret phrase, recovery phrase, and you can save it in your computer. And every time you want to decrypt the file, you will be able to use it. Let's set one for now. Everything has to be signed, of course, because it's blockchain related. And now, as you see, I have a recovery phrase set for this account. I need to explain this because if you at one point lose this secret phrase, you won't be able to decrypt any file that was sent to you till that moment. So now, when somebody sends me a file, it's going to be encrypted with this pair, a public key that is stored in the vault, and the secret key that is just on my side. I'm just the one holding it. And if I lose this one, I won't be able to decrypt my previous message. Of course, if I'm going to generate a new one, the new messages, the new files I'm getting will be encrypted with the new key I generated. Okay. So this being about the security levels of the applications and how it works when it comes to making it secure and encrypted. Now let's go on the other side and try to send actually a file. So I'm going to go into the other browser, copy the wallet address. It's also important that we integrated the base names, so you can actually also send files or messages to base names directly. What will happen is that the application will actually search for an address behind the base name. An example can be if I check my base name, you will see that it will automatically find my address linked to my to my base name. So I can use this, or I can just paste a wallet address. I can choose a file. Let's pick the 3send logo, and then you will see there are three. There will be three types of payment when it comes to sending files, which is I'm going to detail after I mentioned that when you use the application, the first three microtransactions when it comes to file sending are free every month. So a user, if is not a hardcore user and doesn't need to send a lot of files in a month, can use the free allocation. It's three file transfers per month. You will see in the pricing page actually what it means: a microtransaction up to 50 megabytes. And then the standard is between 50 and 500 megabytes, and then big send and archive send when it comes to larger files. They are marked as in dollars values, but what happens behind it is that myself and Alessandro wanted to create some kind of a tribute towards the Ratio1 protocol, and we said, okay, any use of this framework of this platform is going to actually burn R1 tokens. So when you pay either with Ethereum, either with base Ethereum, either with USDC on base, either with directly with R1 tokens, you actually burn R1 tokens. So it's our way to return like a tribute towards the Ratio1 protocol, and also to bring more value within the protocol. But now, because this is one of the first 3 transactions I'm doing this month with this account, it's going to be free. So I'm just going to sign the encryption, and the file is going to be uploaded. In terms of the speeds, we are working on fastening the even more the speeds of the uploading. And I know the guys are already investigating and working on the speeds. Yeah, and on the other side, you will see that I'm doing the same actions. I'm going to download, and before download, I will need to actually sign the decryption of the file. As you see, the file was sent. I will also see the file that was sent in my outbox. So I will also see all the details. It was a microtransaction. It was a free microsend because I have free credit and so on. Now, when I go on the other side of the story, I'm going to refresh the page, and I'm going to see that my inbox now is having one file transferred. I'm checking my inbox, and now I can check the information and download it. Again, I need to decrypt the file, and I'm going to decrypt it. And now I got it, and I have the second image in my downloads file. You can also write notes, and they are also going to be encrypted. And you will see that, for example, if I create another file on the same address, let's also send this one. I can type a secret, encrypted. And this is also a way to communicate. Right now, it's just as a note next to a file you are sending, but in the future, it will be a proper email-like experience so that you can send private emails without the risk, without the concern about anybody picking in your communication between you and your communication partner. And it was the same. If you use the decryption for the image, you will also use the decryption for the note. And this will show here very soon. I still need to see if it's uploaded. It's uploaded, I think. Yes, I have the second one, and you can see now I can also decrypt the node that was associated with this file transfer, and now I signed it and it's decrypted. Pretty much this is it about 3send and how it works to send a file from one point to another with local encryption and with decentralized storage and file transfer via Ratio1 protocol. We have a lot of features on the pipeline, but first we need to also plan carefully our approach, our go-to-market. But definitely it will be developed even more in the future. And we hope also to get a lot of feedback from the community. We expect to build around an utility built on both blockchain and decentralized computing platform that actually solves a real problem.
All right, that was really, really cool to see, and it moved really fast. Now, of course, I'm going to be asking a few things. Of course, I'm keeping an eye on chat in case we have a live viewer commenting a question of their own. But my first one is in regards to the data. We sent a small file, we sent a small image, but is there currently like a threshold or a limit in terms of the size of the transfer that we can send?
Yeah.
And with the small, and another question in addition, if the data or the amount of data also correlates with the R1 token that you need to use.
Yeah. So first of all, as I mentioned in the pricing page, you will see that the maximum amount you can send right now is 5 GB, and this is just because we wanted to have a limit. It's also upgradable in the future, so we might have larger file transfers or even storage solutions. So maybe you will have your own vault to store your information. But for now, we wanted to limit it to 5 GB. I think this is was more like a mainstream upper limit in the industry. When it comes to file sending, I think it's about having a dynamic file sending application more than just sending a huge load in one go. It's more like a communication layer and being able to exchange a lot of information towards parties. And when it comes to the amount of R1 tokens burned, of course, it starts with 0.05 dollars in R1 tokens, and it can go to $1 if it's an archive archive sent to via 3send. So it's also important to mention that it's still early now. It's just in a let's say in a stage of research, a stage of trying to see what works, what is it's too much, what is worth in terms of how much privacy actually works for people, and also it's important to understand that on top of this, we are also going to build a subscription model, and people will be able to have like personal subscription bundles with a lot of file transfers included at a lower price. But of course, we will still keep this burning mechanism because people might be willing to have full anonymity. Right now, when you send them a file, nobody knows who are you, what are you sending, to whom you are sending, because actually you don't pay anything, you just burn some tokens on the blockchain. But in the future, if somebody wants to have a better offer, they can subscribe, of course, having a card payment or a crypto payment for the bundle. And in that case, of course, because we are going to invoice our users, that's going to be a bit different than the full anonymous transfer, because actually the platform knows who is the subscriber and so on, but of course without being able to touch any of the information of the user. And another thing I think it's important to mention that we are looking forward to integrate is actually emails. So we are going to allow in the future, very close future, to be able to communicate between emails and wallets, between emails and emails. So you will be able to send from a wallet to an email address, a file or a message, and vice versa. And I think this is actually breaking the limits, the barriers, the boundaries between what's Web3, what's Web2. It's just knowing that you are using a public-private pair associated with an email or with a wallet. It doesn't really matter what type of medium you are using. It's just an application that facilitates file transfer or messaging in a secure way.
Yeah, maintaining that communication. Brilliant. Now, of course, I would like to also bring, since we talked about about burning, about the amount we can send, 5, and I think it's actually on the higher end of what is available online. I've seen 2 gigabytes, I've seen 3. 5 is quite up there, but as you said, it's mostly for the privacy and efficiency of sending it from and to in an encrypted way, in a secure way. And you also mentioned the fact that we might extend certain things like the storage and all that. And I wanted to ask about the 7-day storage of the thing you are sending. how is that going to be something that's going to evolve over time? Is that going to be a feature coming later? And why 7 and not more or less?
Yeah, okay. So first of all, the amount of days, it was just a perfect number in my view. So
it's a week. It's perfect.
It's a perfect number I associate with ephemerity. When I want to think about the file that I sent to someone, I wouldn't want to go away too fast, or it won't take too much. So it's something in between. It was something we thought about it, and what was the perfect number for in terms of the days. When it comes to why the 7 days, which is not something that will always be like this, it's still going to be a feature to have a file or a message that burns after a certain amount of days, so it disappears totally from the network. It's because you actually want to make sure no trace of your file is left somewhere in some kind of cloud, even if it's fully encrypted or locally on your side. You want to make sure that it doesn't stick in any way, in any shape, in any decentralized cloud, in any cloud, and so on. So this is the full peace of mind you can achieve in a file transfer process, knowing that after 7 days, that file goes away without leaving any rest of its memory inside the decentralized cloud. And that's why it was started. Now, in terms of the features, as I mentioned, the platform is going to be an ongoing process. We are going to wait a lot of feedback from people. We are going to implement based on demand and the needs of the people. If people will say, okay, I want to pay more for a file that is stored for more days than 7 days, maybe I want it to for the entire duration of a project. Maybe I want it forever, and I pay a subscription based on how much it stays in cloud, and so on. This is something that can evolve. We just wanted to create a simple application built on the stack of Ratio1, and that proves how powerful this decentralized protocol can be, and how anybody can build on top of it and benefit from privacy, from data ownership, from decentralization, and I think we actually managed to do a good job right now with this application. And I know we have more of the frameworks in the pipeline to be developed and made publicly available. And I also invite all the other builders that even have like the smallest application ever to try to build and see where it goes from that point. They have all the stack available on Ratio1 and all the tools they need to do it, and they can go from 0 to 1 very fast with the availability of such tools. Because it's important, we always mention, okay, people have developed decentralized cloud computing, sharing, and so on in different ways. And I'm not talking now just about the permission state and the trustless state, because these have variations. And we already said that we are different because we have permissioned access, yet a trustless execution layer. It's just also that on top of this protocol, we don't just offer a protocol and everybody has to fight with the walls and try to build on top of it. We actually put all the tools, all the specifications of information, and also all the pieces that anybody can come, put them together and match their own use case.
Yeah, and we're very, very close to the end. I just want to bring up one more point, that this this entire project, it already had a lot of it has seen some use and also received some feedback, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I already got some feedback for the application, and we are still approaching users. We are still going to create a lot of events and the funny stuff around the application in order to make people understand the importance of privacy in the end, and how Ratio1 solves it.
Yeah, and this is just exactly as I said. This is just one one case, one project on the Ratio1.
One brick in the wall, yeah.
One brick in the wall, exactly. And we have so many more creative people and so many partners and future partners that are going to make this entire thing absolutely fantastic. Rome will be built very, very soon at this rate. All right. Thank you everyone so much for tuning in. Thank you guys for participating. This is where we're going to have to wrap up for tonight. I hope you all had a great time. Hope you have more questions for us. We look forward to those. And as always, we'll see you all next time. Take care, everyone.
See you guys.